Hello and welcome to episode number 138 of the TEW 280 Challenge Run. This is going to be Monday Night Raw for Week 4, May 2021, and it is the go-home show for the joint-branded Money in the Bank pay-per-view this Sunday. Stacked card from both ends, and the Raw side is going to do their last final bit of build towards their side. Without any further ado, let's just jump straight into the show.
Too long, the lies and excuses have conquered. It's just a time bomb waiting to go off. So tell me why has it gone to this? We live just like we're dead. Afraid of something, afraid of someone. It's time to rise from the ashes. Rise into new day.
We actually have nobody dying this time, so that's nice. But we start with a cold open in Gorilla. Charlie's with Drew McIntyre, Otis, Sheamus and Ricochet, because that match is going to open the show. And Drew's talking about how it's been a pain in the arse dealing with the Hurt Business, and while this may be 4-on-4, he still wants to get that one-on-one match with Bobby Lashley. Hell, for all Lashley knows, he thinks he can get away with this, but if Drew just wishes for that match with Lashley, then he'll get it. That's all that matters. That's the perks of being the franchise player. And Drew basically just reminding us that he's got those wishes, that he is the franchise player. And they go out there for their 8-man tag team match. A match that gets an 81. And the Hurt Business win. Lashley pins Otis with a spear. An 89 for Sheamus, an 87 for Otis, a 91 for Ricochet, a 90 for Drew, a 60 for Dio, a 63 for Shelton, a 77 for Cedric, and an 82 for Bobby Lashley. Yeah, poor Otis took the fall here not because I think he's like the least important, but he's like the most sympathetic, I feel. And yeah, he's the one who I had to take the fall. So Lashley got the win here for his team. And the Hurt Business open up Raw with a big win over the 4 babyface on the Raw side. Ricochet's got a big night on Sunday. He's in Money in the Bank, but he hasn't got the best of momentum heading into that match after this result. We then have a backstage segment of R-Truth bumping into JBL, and he's like, "Hey, Farouk, I'm a big fan." And he's like, "No, I'm not Farouk, I'm Bradshaw." And he drops R-Truth. He takes the 24/7 title, and he holds it up high. JBL, the greatest hardcore champion of all time, now in possession of the modern version of the Hardcore Championship. Then cut to backstage. Just Garza and Raquel chilling, listening to music. Some Bad Bunny, something like that, whatever Hispanics listen to. When the Vega Mafia walk past, and they're like, "Oh, look at these two. Look at you guys, you're doing so well since we kicked you out of our group last year, aren't you?" But I don't know, we've moved on. We're now the pillars of Raw, and you're sitting here with Raquel, just sort of just playing around backstage. And guys was like, "Well, actually, no, I've got a match with Cameron Grimes up next. So if you could leave us alone, that would be great." Then Murphy walks in, and he's like, "You know, you do talk a big game for a group of people who haven't really done anything since WrestleMania. So how about one of you guys meet me in the ring later on tonight, and I'll see what you're really all about, because I'm looking for a match. I'm Buddy Bloody Murphy." And then Scott is the one who accepts it, so we get Isaiah Scott and Buddy Murphy, and that's for later on tonight. But first, Garza and Cameron Grimes gets a 77. Apparently Garza and Raquel are at awkward pairing when she's managing him. That's not a good note to see. But 67 for Garza, and Cameron Grimes actually outscores Angel Garza over 70. Interesting. Firefly Funhouse, just Bray Wyatt and Susie hamming it up, being their old friendly selves. And Bray Wyatt's like, "You know, we do have a lot of fun here, Susie, but it's good to know that they have our back should we need it." And that nasty Aleister Black, and his new friend Bliss, they've been saying some mean things about us. But they need to watch their mouth, because otherwise they'll come and shut their mouths for them. Let me in. Then getting to the ring, Mandy Rose with a microphone. She's just talking about how I had a scheduled shopping appointment that I wanted to get to that was gonna take me away from Raw, but apparently I've got to wrestle Asuka up next, which but maybe I can teach her a few things about fashion or something, and once I beat her, I should take her spot in Money in the Bank and prove that I'm fabulous. Stuff like that. Mandy going full shopaholic as her gimmick, because I need something for her to do, not she's a heel. So she's going to be like the standard fashion. Not really like what Carmella is in real life. I know I said fabulous and that was Carmella's old thing, but not really Carmella. Just more like sort of shopping girl. Very good. Small penalty to microphone. Shopaholic gimmick. Okay. So Mandy needs to be a heel, so I need to give her sort of like a heel attitude. But she's going to lose to Asuka in a 66 rated match. A 82 for Asuka and a 44 for Mandy. Asuka beats her by submission with an Asuka lock in 5:46. And then get a sit down interview like we did the one last week with Kaylee Ray and Nikki Cross. This time Barrett's with the champions, Paige and AJ Lee. They're talking about their victory they got on SmackDown over the Mean Girls and how they accept the challenge for the Money in the Bank kickoff. Paige and AJ Lee against Kaylee Ray and Nikki Cross for the Women's Tag Team Championships, and how Paige doesn't understand why Kaylee and Nikki did this. They got one brief taste of fame, and all of a sudden they've forgotten everything that Paige did for them. Well, Paige hasn't forgotten anything, and she realised what a pain it was to bring them to WWE and mentor them this whole time, and she's got her own frustration she's going to want to take out on them at Money in the Bank. So they're going to regret doing what they did, because Paige and AJ, they're coming. They're not going to lose these tag team titles. They're here for the long run. And Nikki Cross and Kaylee Ray are going to be nearly a stepping stone. So hope it was all worth it, lasses. Apollo's in the ring cutting a promo about how he's going to win Money in the Bank for all of his people in Nigeria. Stuff like that. When of all people, Titus O'Neil interrupts him. He's like, Apollo, I know I've not been around here a lot recently, but I couldn't sit back and watch this happen to you. You've changed, man. You used to be cool. Back when you were in Titus Worldwide with me, Cruz Can't Lose and all that. You were cool, you were my friend, but this isn't the Apollo I know. This isn't the Apollo we all like. Something's changing you, man. I'm here to try and help you get it back, because I don't like this path that you're going down. And sure, you're in Money in the Bank, but would it really be rewarding for you to win Money in the Bank like this? And then Apollo's like, shut up, Titus. You did nothing but hold me back. I'm now on course to become Money in the Bank and the next World Heavyweight Champion, because I left your silly group, because I'm my own man, I'm doing things for my country. So if you've got a problem with that, you can meet me in the ring right now, Titus. And Titus like, no, I'm not here to compete. I haven't got my gear. But Apollo antagonises him, and then a match gets booked. Titus O'Neil versus Apollo Crews gets a 64. Apollo just beats him in 2 minutes of a standing moonsault. A 76 for Apollo, a 39 for Titus. After the match, Apollo continues to assault Titus after the match. Just like punching him. Going, you're worthless, Titus, you're a loser, you held me back for all these years. And then only Lorcan storms out from the back because Money in the Bank competitors. And they take the fight to each other. But Apollo ends up on top of only Lorcan as well. And then doesn't appear like Apollo can be contained when all of a sudden Daniel Bryan makes his return to Raw. He storms out from the back. He rushes to the ring with a full head of steam. Apollo swings at him with a clothesline, but Bryan ducks it and then takes him down with a running knee. And then starts delivering the yes kick as Apollo starts to get to his feet. Backs into the corner, charges up for another knee while going yes, yes, yes. But Apollo quickly darts out of the ring and to safety. '82, Buddy Murphy and Strickland, Isaiah Scott Buddy Murphy beats Isaiah Scott in 12:32 with a Murphy's Law. 91 for Buddy Murphy and 82 for Swerve. Pretty decent, yeah. That's the reason I put the match on the card. And Buddy Murphy celebrating his win when all of a sudden... the lights come back on and the Purge are surrounding the ring. Aleister Black gets into the ring and he drops Buddy Murphy with a black mass. And then he sort of leans over and then orders Alexa Bliss into the ring. And Alexa would also hit Buddy Murphy with her finish. And then Aleister Black just stands over him and he says, "We're here to collect, Buddy. You're going to regret everything you did to us, because the Purge is now once again open for business and you're our first target." So not even being very subtle about it at all, just letting Buddy Murphy know something Buddy has done has wronged the Purge, and Alistair's here to set it right. 36, just a random match just to fill time on the show. Give the Iconics a win because I don't really do that often. Billy Kay pins Zatara with a fall from Grace. 53 from Peyton, 51 for Billy Kay, 36 for both the NXT women. Yeah, Iconics with a nice fat dub here on Raw. We then get a contract signing. Keith Lee and Kevin Owens goes off pretty much without a hitch because... actually, no, they probably would fight this time. I feel like I do that all the time. I do that, oh, well, everyone knows we're going to fight, so let's not fight and subvert expectations. Now they fight. Keith Lee gets put through the table with a powerbomb because Kevin Owens is the prize fighter and he's got his eyes on the prize. And the World Heavyweight Championship has always been a prize that had eluded him, and he came to WWE too late to win it the first time. But now it's back, and you think Owens is going to sit back and not win it? No. That's not what's going to happen, Keith. You've been a nice little champion, but it comes to an end this Sunday because Kevin Owens, the prize fighter, takes home his prize. And then Keith Lee's like, "Oh, Kevin, I'd love to see you try. If you want, we don't have to wait till Sunday. Let's get this done right now." And they do fight and ends with Keith Lee. Actually, no, I feel like because Kevin Owens has got the upper hand every single week, Keith can put Kevin through the table with a spirit bomb. And then Keith stands tall with his world title. And Breeze and Eva there because they're the authority figure and, I guess, overseer of justice of Monday Night Raw. 74 for this tag match. Based on their interaction backstage last week after the match that these two had with Mackie and Asuka. We get Io and Kyrie against Lacey Evans and Toni Storm. And the heels pick up another win. They are on a roll right now. Kyrie Sane takes the fall to Toni Storm because Charlotte gets involved and distracts the two baby faces. Because Charlotte's facing Io at the pay-per-view. She's still angry that Kyrie beat her last week due to Io shenanigans. So Charlotte repaying the favour here tonight. An 87 for Io, and 68 for Kyrie, 61 for Toni, and a 48 for Lacey. 74, pretty good for that. Then after the match, Charlotte gets into the ring. She starts attacking Io's leg, working over Io's leg with like a couple of elbows, and stomps, and then wraps her leg around the ring post, does the ring post figure 4, and tells Io that she'll see her this Sunday, woo, when Charlotte becomes the either 12 or 13, whatever number she's on in real life, because I don't think she's won any more in my game either. Whatever number she's on, 12, I believe it will be this Sunday at Mr. Money in the Bank. But then, the whole time, Toni and Lacey are in the ring just watching that. Then we go to commercial, and then we come back, and Toni and Lacey are still in the ring, and Toni's like, well, sure would suck if Io is injured heading into Money in the Bank, and somebody, I'm not saying me, but somebody, hypothetically, wins Money in the Bank, and they can cash in on the vulnerable champion right away. That sure would suck. And hell, Lacey, you know I've got the full head of steam heading into this match. I'm by far the favourite. I've got the most momentum heading into this whole thing. Then Asuka comes out from the back, pissed off still. She beat Mandy Rose, but she's still annoyed that she's taken 2 L's in the last 2 weeks. And she tries to take the fight to the heels, who overwhelm her. Then J-Flo run out from the back. They fight off. They've got the overwhelming numbers game. And the heels retreat. And Mackie helps Asuka to her feet, but Asuka shoves her to the floor, saying she doesn't need Mackie's help because all Mackie's done the last 2 weeks is cause her to lose. And then she shoulder checks the other J-Flo girl as she walks away. Tensions high between the 3 women in Money in the Bank from Raw. Will any of them win it? Have to wait and tune in this Sunday to find out. 78, Damian Priest and John Morrison. I could have expected better from that, but apparently nobody has good psychology on this roster. But Damian Priest does beat Morrison with a reckoning in 8:41. 83 for Morrison, 84 for Priest. Yeah, 8 minutes apparently dragged. Good to know. I thought scripting them would make that go away, but apparently not. Because I think I did it for this match. Actually, no, or did I do it for this match? I thought that 8 minutes would be enough for John Morrison and Damian Priest to not have a lack of psychology. But there was a match that I scripted on this show. I don't remember what it was. It might have been the Gaza match with Cameron Grimes. I don't think I actually got that note, so it's alright. After the match, Elias jumps into the ring. He tries to swing at a guitar at the back of Damian Priest, who's been distracted by Robert Stone So Stone's on the apron, like the one on the left, with his back to the ramp, shouting at Priest, who's facing him. But he knows what's coming. He ducks just as Elias swings the guitar. The guitar clocks Robert Stone off the apron, and then Damian Priest hits those big kicks to take Elias down. And then Miz tries to slide into the ring and attack Priest, but then Priest turns around and spots him, and they have like a weird face-off. And then Miz tries to run away, but Priest grabs him, hits him with Hit the Lights, and holds his IC title up high as the girls check on their men. Priest getting a last little bit of momentum heading into Money in the Bank, because Miz, again, has sort of come out on top for the last couple of weeks. So we just need to give Damian Priest, he's outsmarted the A-list here tonight. And who will be victorious this Sunday. JBL has his 24/7 title when he bumps into Cameron Grimes and Bo Dallas. And Grimes is like, I kind of consider myself the new JBL. Just like you, John, I was a roughneck badass. But unlike you, I don't do all the beer drinking stuff. I'm just a cowboy, southern hillbilly badass. And I found my fortune, just like you found your fortune. But mine came via the stock market. So that in turn proves my intelligence is better than yours. And JBL was like, what? Why are you just coming out here to insult me? Because I've got this 24/7 title and you can't have it, Cameron. And then R-Truth rolls him up and takes his baby back. And then Cameron Grimes laughs at JBL. I actually had JBL around for a while to do stuff with Cameron Grimes. But then they brought Ted DiBiase in NXT. And, that's better, I feel. So, JBL's just been here for a while, not doing anything because, I sort of pivoted away from having those plans. So he's just going to have a quick 24/7 title segment where him and Grimes interact, and then R-Truth wins his baby back for the 59th time, I believe. Talking Smack is then hyped up. Charlie Caruso is going to be with R-Truth. No, she could be with R-Truth, but the guests are going to be Daniel Bryan, Luchasaurus, and Tony Storm. A who's who of superstars. 80-rated main event. Adam Cole on Christian. Undisputed Era banned from ringside. Edge banned from ringside. And it's Adam Cole who picks up the win in 14:51 with a flying crossbody. A 79 for Adam Cole, a 71 for Christian. That's a pretty good main event. But the show's not over there because while they were banned from ringside for the match, the second the match is over, after the match, Adam Cole jumps on Christian, starts attacking him. When Edge comes up from the back, because the match is now over, he's no longer banished from ringside. he storms to the ring and he spears Adam Cole. And then from the back come out Fish, O'Reilly and Strong. Fish and O'Reilly in the front, Strong in the back. So Fish and O'Reilly slide into the ring first when they both get nailed by simultaneous spears, one by Edge, one by Christian. And Roderick Strong's in last, and then he realises, oh fuck, I'm in here with just Edge and Christian. He takes the fight to Christian. Him and Christian tumble through the ropes into the outside, and they start brawling around ringside. And Edge sort of watches on, smiling at Christian fighting off Roderick Strong, taking in the crowd. And he turns around, and he's absolutely rocked by Trouble in Paradise by Kofi Kingston, who's hyped himself up, celebrating, going, oh yeah, Edge, it's your boys, the New Day. They actually pick up Edge and deliver Midnight Hour to Edge. Actually, no, they probably don't, because that's Big E. So it'll be the up, down, down one where they hit the elbow of Kofi's knee. The New Day lay Edge out is the point. And they hold their titles up high and they say, yeah, you don't want any of this. You don't want to catch these hands. Your boys, the New Day, are going to retain at Money in the Bank. Will they? We'll have to find out, but that is the end of the show. And now Talking Smack segment. Luchasaurus, 59, just talking about him and Tozawa and how Humberto's going to be back next week. So the entirety of Path of the Dragon is going to be together. And they've got their eyes set on Tag Team Title Gold. 75 of Toni Storm. It's Toni time at Money in the Bank. And no one can stop her. She's becoming a bit of a regular on this show. But she's ranting again about how she's been on the form of her life recently. And how at Money in the Bank, she's going to be crowning herself the future when she becomes the guaranteed next Raw Women's Champion. 86 O'Brien. He had to take time off after Apollo beat him at Backlash, because Apollo, he's a hell of a vicious competitor. But one thing Apollo wasn't taught is respect. And Daniel Bryan's had more respect than anybody for anybody in this business. And to lose somebody's respect, to lose Daniel Bryan's respect, goes a long way. He's respected a lot of bad people in this business, but Apollo, he's taken it to a whole new level. And he's back to make sure Apollo doesn't become Mr. Money in the Bank, because this whole thing between him and Apollo is not over. Because Bryan's back, and yeah, he's coming to take Apollo down. 83 rated show. No popularity changes. I think we've hit our peak for that sort of area. But that's more than the 83 is what you thought of the show, and that's the end of Raw's build for Money in the Bank. I'll see you next time for episode 139, which will be SmackDown's go-home show before the big show. And we've got to replace Johnny Gargano in Money in the Bank, so there'll be some important goings on that show. See you then.